Hi, Andrew Terrells.
My name is Jared Wilkins.
Thomas Bernazzi.
Miles Fraser Jones.
Gino Monero.
Evan Craftsman.
And the two missing with us today are Jake Rossetti and James Lorenz, who could unfortunately not be here. Our project came to be because I wanted to tell Mr. Dugan about wanting to do something for veterans, because I thought there's time that we give something back for what they've done so much for us. And while I was in there, he told me about Andrew Terrells, who was also trying to do a project to do with the veterans, and we discussed and we heard about a project from a year before, and apparently they've been doing for a few years, of students going to the Violent Veterans Home and assisting the elderly there in just day-to-day activities.
Me and Miles wanted to, like you said, give back to the veterans that have done so much for us. And we decided that it would be best to go to the home there and help them out a lot.
And we just
know what we did.
And we just picked up everybody here, just picked them up along the way. We made a big group and we split it into two.
The main purpose of our project was the Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress, for which we conducted interviews with the veterans at the Violent Veterans Memorial Home and sent them, along with the appropriate paperwork, to the Library of Congress, so those veterans now have an on-file interview with the Library of Congress. Also, we were able to assist them with their everyday activities, which you guys can tell them about now.
While there, we got to interact and entertain them. We played various games with them, card games. They taught us all how to play pinochle. We're all certified pinochle players now. And I mean, it was a lot of fun hanging out with them, honestly. It was great.
I think one of the most difficult parts of being there was seeing firsthand what happens to people. A lot of people there were older, but there were a lot of people there that were younger as well, but mostly because they had received just terrible injuries during the war, and seeing them trying to cope with those injuries, they just can't do day-to-day activities anymore, and it was heartbreaking.
I thought one of the most difficult things was sometimes hearing their stories. Like sometimes their stories were pretty sad, where you could tell that they really experienced loss, and as they were talking, you could really just see on their face, what they experienced. I thought at times that was pretty difficult.
I think the hardest thing was actually trying to communicate with them. They had really a lot of problems trying to speak. Some of them they mumbled really hard. They really wanted to speak to you, so you would put an effort to try to understand them, but sometimes it's just really hard to do.
Figure of Tom. Some of them were pretty hard to talk to. Some of them still had very, very strong accents. With just they were fresh in America. They were fresh in America when they went to war, and they just kept their accents over time. And that was just pretty hard to teach. And some of them also were were not fully with us all the time, and they were just hard to speak with. Pulled at your heartstrings, I guess.
I spoke to one man who unfortunately had Alzheimer's, and he kept asking me to find his wife, and I had to wait there until his wife came back, and it was just really heartbreaking having to, seeing that somebody had to deal with that kind of mental tension.
Just seeing our nation's heroes in wheelchairs, in pain, it's difficult to see.
So one of my favorite things there was just talking with them. There was a lot of things that they had to tell you about their experiences. A lot of the veterans there were for World War II, and just hearing some of their experiences of what war was like was really interesting and grounding at the same time. It's amazing what they lived through. And
you usually learn about those wars in history class, but having a first-hand account is just so much better.
There are some things you can't pick up from a history book, and it's a lot better talking to someone who was actually there and lived the experience, you learn so much more, not just about the conflict itself, but about the power struggle, the struggle that they had within the fight.
So I'm going to school to hopefully become a pilot. That's always been a dream of mine from when I was young. And I was actually hoping to join the Air Force after college. So that's why this meant so much to me, because someone with military aspirations myself, I've always wanted to help with the military community.
I'm hoping next year to attend University of Delaware, and while I'm there, I'd major in athletic training, hoping to one day become an athletic trainer for some type of maybe professional or collegiate sports team.
I'm hoping to become a psychologist, partly to my grandfather being in the Veterans Home, so I plan on helping people weather this problem.
I plan on going to the international business field. Like some of those people said that went to join the Army, most of them just wanted to like experience the world, and I kind of want to do the same.
I plan to enter the field of biomedical engineering, and hopefully I'll be able to develop or help develop some kind of prosthetics or things that the veterans could use when they come back from war wounded.
I'm hoping to become a physician assistant, sort of help the doctors treat the patients and so forth.